During the summer of 2011, I had the opportunity to travel to Kyoto, Japan through the Critical Language Scholarship Program. For 2 whole months, I did nothing but study Japanese. And while my 7-hour school days were pretty rigorous, they were nothing compared to some of the dinner table conversations I shared with my host mother. Through these talks, she showed me a side of Japan, and by extension, a side of myself that I had never seen before. One night, my host mother asked me if I knew the characters for my name. I told her that I usually just wrote in katakana, the phonetic spelling for foreign words. She just said that wouldn't do, that I needed a real Japanese name, and so she set about looking up characters. This search would continue on for a few weeks. We'd sit down at the table and work out different meaning combinations, but my last name was difficult since Kizu, which is the Japanese pronunciation of keys, sounded kind of strange, and the meanings of those sounds were really limited. And then it struck her. I didn't need to make my English name fit into Japanese, I needed to change my name into Japanese. "Ah, wakatta!" she yelled. "Kagitaba-san!" And that was to be my new Japanese name, Kagitaba. Now, I knew that Kagi meant key, but since my name in English was plural, she had added the taba to create this image of a bunch of keys. The name was so perfect because it represented all the things that Japan had meant to me. It was the key to discovering a new language, and a new culture, and a new family. It was the key to discovering that I loved filmmaking and decided to pursue it as a career. It was the key to figuring out my own identity and the role I wanted to play in society. It was the key to learning that I could live independently and make a difference just by having a conversation with someone. I learned how other people saw America and became self-aware of my own perspective of the world. And it changed the very way I saw things, from behind and in front of the camera. Going back through this footage, I can see how my perspective changed during my time there. I went from marveling at how different Japan was to focusing on how beautiful and familiar it had become. So while I can't go by Kagitaba back here in the States, I do now prefer going by keys. Because from one side of the world to the other, this image of a bunch of keys invokes this idea of opening doors and opportunities. So my recommendation to all of you is to go find your own Kagitaba, and to travel the world and discover something new.